Fam, before we're listening to Message Man from 21 Pilots, let's reconstruct the world that created this song. This song appeared on Blurry Face in May 2015. You remember, if I could turn back time to a good old day. Song was fire. It's one of the first 21 Pilots tracks I covered on this channel. This is a moment where smartphones were becoming less like tools and more like, places we constantly lived. Facebook is still enormous. Instagram. You remember Do It for the Vine, right? So they kind of redetermined what comedy was. Tumblr and YouTube are now creating communities, new celebrities, and new ways of constructing identity. Humanity during this time had built a technological nervous system capable of connecting billions of people instantly. So distance was collapsing. Someone alone in an Ohio bedroom could create something that reached the entire planet. And that sounds like a movement toward oneness. But the ego came with us, didn't it? We created digital versions of ourselves. This is like my image and my opinion and my people and my approval. We became more connected, but also more conscious of being watched. Right? We were like more visible, but not necessarily more deeply known. And that's kind of like the world ego. You guys remember Ferguson in Baltimore, the police stuff, which was kind of dominating the public attention? Political tribes were hardening online, and millions of individual egos could now synchronize around the same fear, the same anger, and the same enemy. Yet every viral event revealed the opposite truth. Something happening to one stranger could reinforce the attention of the entire country. Right? And now we're, George Floyd, Charlie Kirk, we're familiar with all of this stuff. The world kept attempting to divide itself while its technology demonstrated that nothing happened in isolation. Music was losing its old borders too. Streaming and YouTube allowed rap, rock, and electronic music and alternative culture to occupy the same listener and increasingly the same artist. 21 Pilots stood directly inside that transition. So Tyler and Josh had built a fiercely devoted audience through relentless touring. They were no longer an unknown Ohio band, but they hadn't yet become the global phenomenon that we kind of know today. They were standing between a small community that had formed them and a mass audience they couldn't even see yet. So the mythic mission of 2015 wasn't merely to become connected. Technology had already accomplished that. The deeper task was to discover how to participate in connection without becoming imprisoned by our profiles, right? The labels and the tribal stuff. To become visible without mistaking visibility for love. And that was, the world surrounding 21 Pilots. Now let's uncover the artifact it produced. Please cook, sir. All right, hold up. So family, we start with kind of this paradoxical contradiction at the beginning of the song, the no, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. There's something that I'm resisting that I'm also attracted to, right? There's a resistance, there's a repulsion, and yet there's this kind of magnetic thing. I'm gonna go back a couple bars. No, 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 no. Yeah, 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 yeah. There's the push and pull.
And who I am today is worse than other times. You don't know what I've done. I'm wanted and on the run. I'm wanted and on the run. So I'm taking this moment to live in the future.
I'm wanted and on the run. Just hear me out, family. Because he's saying a loser hides behind a mask of my disguise. Weren't we just talking about the interwebs and social media where you're pressured to, to put up a fake mask? Maybe that's what he means by I'm wanted and on the run. People want more content, right? But it's like, is the real me on the run? I'm wanted and on the run. I'm wanted and on the run. Guys, I'm gonna let him cook.
Worse than other times. You don't know what I've done. I'm wanted and on the run. I'm wanted and on the run. So I'm taking this moment to live in the future. Release me from the present. I'm obsessing on these questions. Why I'm in denial that they tried this suicidal session. Please use discretion when you're messing with the message man. These lyrics aren't for everyone, only if you understand.
Isn't this a condemnation of the current society? And I'm not talking about necessarily what they mean by the lyrics. This is just how it affects me, right? You know my face, but you don't know. It says, you don't know my brain the way you know my name, right? It's like I'm putting something in front of you, but, that's not genuinely who I am, right? There's no transparency anymore.
Please use discretion when you're messing with the message man.
That's the one I'm wondering about. Like that line, not the message man, but why I'm in denial that they tried the suicidal session. Family, help me out in the comments, please.
Suicidal session. Please use discretion when you're messing with the message man. These lyrics aren't for everyone, only if you understand. My people singing. My people singing. Hope you're dead, cause how could you sleep at a time like this? People, they rhyme like this, we're all impressed by this. They rip it, flip it, but these are just triplets. Wrote this in 3 minutes, 3 words to a line.
Bro, please, God. I tell so many rappers this. That's not it, bro. That's not impressive. You have to say something. Man, bro, Tyler just comes out and says it. And listen, the last 21 Pilots song I covered on this channel, Tyler can rap his ass off. I'm sorry, he really can. He doesn't use that weapon as often as I wish he would, but listen. I love that he just put that out there. I've had this criticism of modern rappers for a very long time. You're trying to be something, right? You're listening, you heard someone do it and you were impressed once, and then that became your identity.
Hope you're dead, cause how could you sleep at a time like this? People, they rhyme like this, we're all impressed by this. They rip it, flip it, but these are just triplets. Wrote this in 3 minutes, 3 words to a line. It's just poetry divided. I'm the kind of guy who takes every moment he knows he can fight it. In music to use it, for others to use it. You're dead, cause how could you sleep at a time like this? Life is up here, but you comment below, and the comments will always become common motivation to promote your show's next episode, so your brain knows to keep going even though it's far from this moment. But you and I know it gets better when morning finally rears its head. Together we're losers, remember the future. Remember the morning is when night is dead. Release me from the present. I'm obsessing on these questions. Why I'm in denial that they tried the suicidal session. Please use discretion when you're messing with the message man. These lyrics aren't for everyone, only if you understand. Please use discretion when you're messing with the message man. These lyrics aren't for everyone, only if you understand. My people singing. My people singing. My people singing.
Yeah, that was Message Man. That was Flame. Listen, in 2015, people could know your name, recognize your face, and follow your profile without knowing your mind or your heart. So humanity was exchanging more messages than ever, but meaning was becoming harder to protect. So 21 Pilots is crossing that same threshold here. A private language developed between a band and its little community was now entering a mass audience that could repeat the words without understanding them, right? And that's kind of what this song maybe gives, is a warning that receiving the message is not the same as understanding its messenger. Right? The world ego reduces people to recognizable images and labels and content, but the actual person always exceeds the version that we consume. So maybe Message Man resonated because it reminded people that their inner world remained sacred, even when everybody could see their face. Family, do me a favor, like, comment, share, subscribe. Join us in the Patreon. This was dope. What's next, if anything, from 21 Pilots? And let me know about the format. I mean, give me your likes and dislikes about this new format of looking at, the world that the song came out of and why it resonated. Let me cook, please. Till next time, stay balanced, family.